Well, as I say, I got into a household in Glebe and they were smoking dope. Um, and then I started drinking I I hate beer. I mean, I can't stand. It was the one drink I just couldn't stand it. But I was drinking anything I could get my hands on because I felt like I was losing it. And in fact, that was exactly what was going on.
Mm.
I was losing it. There was some dope, but I was in a mess. I got a job at RPA. I couldn't I mean, I was becoming dysfunctional. And in the end,
Yes.
I called for help. I called a mental institution, I think Roselle Hospital. And I just thought I kind of knew I needed help, but I didn't know what. And so there was a alcohol ward there, I think still called McKinnon. And for whatever reason, it was a weekend, the receptionist put me through to McKinnon. And so the nurse, I kept saying, she said, well, this is an alcohol unit. I said, well, I'm not an alcoholic. I don't know why they've given. So I told her about my drug use a bit and I don't know what's going on. And she said, look, I know a support group that can maybe help you. And I was so desperate. I would have jumped off Harbour Bridge if you told me that was going to help me get out of the fear and the complete collapse. I knew I was mentally breaking down. I would have done it. I would have done anything you told me to do because I knew I was falling apart. And that's the only saving grace was that at that point, I knew uh, that it was the end. And after going around
And
these, go on, go on.
and then someone told you must remain abstinent to get well.
Well, they kind of sort of said that, and then I said, "But I can drink alcohol." And I was told back then, and I'm glad I was told. And I came to that my own belief that I slowly understood that because I was in that psychosis for 8 months. I was in a rehab. I got thrown out of that rehab. I tried to commit suicide 3 times. Didn't have any drug or alcohol in me, but I was mad and no one could cope with me. And so I just thought, well, that last overdose, I say it's not in the book, but um, that last one was like a really serious attempt. I just thought I'd understood with all these people telling me that I actually couldn't drink or take drugs again. I heard what they were saying, and I didn't. So I didn't want the old life. I mean, I knew that that was an end, but I didn't want to stop drinking it's a very hard place to be when you're fighting the very thing that was going to save me. And so I just thought, well, excuse my language,
Yeah.
I thought, fuck it. I don't want to go back there, but I don't want to do this either. So I sold my body up at the cross because I had no money. I was on sickness benefits.
Yeah.
So I went to the cross, prostituted myself, and got some Mogadon, they're called. I took a whole bottle. That's 30 Mogadon. That's a lot of
Yep.
Mogadon, but I didn't take any alcohol with it. And again, one of those
Ah,
paradoxes that had I taken alcohol with 30 Mogadon, I would not be standing here
would have.
now. Oh, I would have been dead long. I would have died
Yeah.
that night for sure. And then I was found by some people who had missed me and they knocked on my door. I think it was maybe 2 days. I was out of it, just in this grotty room I had.
Yep.
First thing that came into my is like, fuck it, I've woken up. Like, I really just didn't want to be here. I couldn't see that things were going to get better. Even though people were saying to me, as long as you don't drink or drug, things will get better. I had no faith. I didn't trust them. I didn't know, I just didn't know.